Jack Michaels joins us as the Edmonton Oilers are set to close out a 5-game homestand against the Red Wings squad that is 4-0-1 in their last 5. Both teams, Jack, have seemingly found their offense and their game. What kind of game are you expecting here on this Thursday night?
Well, I mean, for Edmonton, I would say, Tuesday was a disappointment in the sense that the first 40 minutes and really the second period. For me, the first period was fine. The second period, no excuse for it. I think Edmonton has to bear down tonight against the club that's playing well. I mean, right now the Detroit Red Wings are atop the Atlantic Division. They don't have an overwhelming record, but then again, outside of Colorado and Dallas, who does in the entire league? It has been a mushy middle type of season.
Airtight.
Yeah, it has been. And Edmonton has not separated itself yet, and I think the Oilers are playing better. But, when they got a point out of a game, they probably, are relieved to get a point and also disappointed having tied it with what happened in overtime. But this is also a matchup, against the Detroit club that beat Edmonton last time out. So the Oilers, again, it's not about surrendering points to an Eastern Conference team, but it's, as you talked about, wanting to finish the homestand on a positive note. You get a win, you're 3-1-1, and you go out for, a road trip that has some pitfalls. I mean, Toronto's playing better. Montreal's been good all year. The Penguins have kind of come back down to earth, but they're in a playoff spot right now. So it's not going to be the easiest of trips. So you want some momentum. And the way you get that momentum is reestablish what you did really in the first 3 games of the homestand, which was continuous stretch that I would call over the last couple of weeks, really starting with the second period of the Washington game, their best hockey all year. I don't think it's close. I think we can toss that Dallas game away and say with some conviction that the last 3 weeks has been as well as Edmonton's played all year.
Well, you talk about reestablishing. How about Connor McDavid reestablishing himself as a goal scorer? 5 goals in his last 3 games. We heard him at the start of this season talking about how he wants to shoot more. That form of 97 has arrived. How different of a player is he, and how different of a team is this when 97 decides to be a threat?
Well, he's always a threat. I think what you're talking about is a scoring
threat. That's of course what I meant.
And absolutely, and that's the thing is, all of a sudden in the blink of an eye, he's one behind Leon Draisaitl for the team lead in goals, and he was a guy that I think had 1 goal in the first 8 or 9 games, and he has a better shot than I think he gives himself credit for. And it's all about confidence, even for the league's best players. They need to see pucks go in. When they do, they start, smelling blood in the water. And really, McDavid jump-started that comeback against Buffalo the other night. It's hard to imagine a better start when you're down 3-0 than scoring 10 seconds in. And, of course, it was the league's best player leading the way. He'll have to be the best player again tonight because right now, Detroit's got a top 6 that's playing very well. The Dylan Larkin line and the Patrick Kane line, for that matter, have carried Detroit over this recent stretch that you're talking about. Edmonton's best has to be better than Detroit's best tonight. They're going to see Cam Talbot in net. John Gibson's coming off 2 impressive wins for Detroit. And I think Stuart Skinner, like the rest of his teammates, not that he played poorly against Buffalo, but he was on a bit of a roll. I think he wants to establish that because his workload is going to be heavy. Outside of the second of a back-to-back where I think Calvin Pickard would play against the Montreal Canadiens, I'm not sure there's another start in there. I think they're sensing that Stuart Skinner is finding his game, and if he wants that workload, he's got to go out and earn that workload. And one way you do that is, again, getting a win against the Detroit Red Wings, a team that, as you pointed out, playing very well.
And his counterpart, Cam Talbot, as Jack mentioned, is getting the start. He hasn't won a game since November 22nd, back-to-back overtime losses for number 39 in the Red Wings goal. Now, you mentioned a couple of players in the top 6 for the Red Wings. One player that comes to mind right now is Alex DeBrincat, 8 points over the course of his last 5 games. So I guess from one Erie Otter to another in DeBrincat, what is the key for the Oilers to mitigate the offense that seemingly is rolling for the Red Wings right now?
Well, we talk about Connor McDavid getting hot. And Alex DeBrincat is as streaky a guy as there is in the league. When he gets, he's had 2 40-goal seasons. When he gets hot, he's rolling. Yes. And, Calgary gave him a couple of opportunities, and they were in the back of the net. And you know what? The biggest thing is, I think, when you talk about the DeBrincat Kane line specifically, is you've got to take away the seams. Calgary gave up the middle of the ice last night, and 30 minutes in, it was 4-0. Yeah. because a guy like Patrick Kane, if you give up the middle of the ice, if you give up the area between the dots, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Because he can make that play. At age 37, he can make that play all day.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about a guy who's soon to become the all-time leading scorer in the history of U.S.-born players. He's got 17 20-goal seasons, but he's still, in my opinion, a better passer than he is a shooter. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
That pass to DeBrincat
I
on the
know.
backhand.
Well, but again, you can't give it up. You can't give it up. Edmonton's got to take that away tonight. The Oilers have to be, on their details game. Otherwise, guys like DeBrincat and Kane are going to feast on you.
Yeah.
And again, I think the key is, especially early, the first 30 minutes, Detroit's going to have their legs under them. They played last night. They'll come out strong. Edmonton's got to handle that and then grind them down. And what I've liked lately is guys like Curtis Lazar and Trent Frederick have started to find some traction in the lineup. And I think the ground and pound mentality might have a real positive impact on tonight's game. If Edmonton can get to its forecheck, lean on Detroit a little bit. The guys we've talked about for the Red Wings are finesse players. I mean, let's be candid. That second line is a dangerous line, but it's a line that can go away if you lean on them properly, and especially on the second of a back-to-back.
Jack, can't wait to hear you, Louis, and Gene on the broadcast tonight. Puck drop tonight, 7 p.m. between Edmonton and Detroit. Here we